Good morning, Grade 9 students. Welcome back. Today we can start a new lesson. That is the third lesson, The Little Girl, written by Catherine Mansfield Murray. Catherine Mansfield Murray was a prominent modernist writer who was born and brought up in New Zealand, in Wellington. She wrote short stories and poetry under the pen name Catherine Mansfield. Her writings, her works are in a German pension in 1911, Bliss and Other Stories, The Garden Party, The Doves, and other stories from 1922, 1911, 1923, like that. And the poems she wrote, Something Childish, The Letters of Catherine Mansfield in a Poetic Way. These are all her works. Now, the present lesson, the title justification of the lesson, The Little Girl. The main character is Kezia, a small girl. Please open the textbooks, page number 32. Here, before you read, he was asking some questions. Do you feel you know your parents better now than when you were much younger? Perhaps you now understand the reasons for some of their actions that used to upset you earlier. So, the writer, Catherine, is questioning us. Do you feel you know your parents better now than earlier, than young? The present story is about a little girl whose feelings for her father change from fear to understanding. Will probably find an echo in every home. Fathers, automatically children will get fear. Later on they can understand. Okay. Here did you observe in the previous line there is a phrase, change from fear to understanding will probably find an echo in every home. Find an echo in every home. This means that all the children will feel the same way. So you all can relate to the feelings of a little girl, Kezia. Just like Kezia is full of fear towards her father, and later on she understands his behavior and feels that he was concerned and he loved her. All the children also have the same feeling, no doubt, isn't it? Towards their parents. And you can relate to Kezia's story very well. Means we can apt to personally. That's what I mean to say. Now, as you open the textbooks, come to the first paragraph. To the little girl, he was a figure to fear and avoided. A figure to be feared means a person to be feared. To the little girl here, Kezia, he was means he refers to her father, to be feared and avoided, it seems. The opening line of the story is indicating the fear that Kezia has for her father. And as she is fearful of her father, she tries to avoid him and she tries to remain away from him. Now come to the next line. Every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with, "Goodbye, father." So here, this action of Kezia's father shows his love for Kezia, no doubt. Come to next line. And oh, there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. Glad sense of relief means feeling relaxed. Fainter and fainter means to lessen or reduce. Carriages like horse carts were means of conveyance used in olden times. So here we can make out the fear that Kezia has for her father. Here Catherine, the writer, says that when Kezia heard that her father's carriage, means the horse cart, was going away from home and he was leaving home, and the sound became fainter and fainter, means reducing, lessen. Means when the cart is moving away, far away, the sound also will reduce, lessen. Kezia would have a sense of relaxation. She would feel relieved that her father had left. Naturally, same scenario in everyone's house. So, when your father is at home, you will be somewhat reserved, attentive, alert. Once when he moves away to some other occasion or work, or automatically you will jump, isn't it? Maybe some parents have a good association, but majority, I'm talking about the majority. In the evening, when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. Morning, she used to respond, "Goodbye, father," and he used to give a casual kiss. But in the evening, when he came home, and she stood near the staircase, it seems, Kezia, and when she heard father's loud voice, again, it made her afraid of him again. Now come to the next line. "Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper's out there, and bring me my slippers." As soon as he come home, uh, he would start ordering all different things. He would order that tea be served to him in the drawing room. He wanted the newspaper. He would ask his mother to go and see if the newspaper was there outside the house, and he would ask her to get him his slippers also. All immediate instructions. In that days, the newspaper means at that time they used to get evening editions. That's one of the reason here. And when we come to the second paragraph, see in the page number 32, Kezia, mother would call to her, "If you're a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boots." Slowly the girl would slow down the stairs, more slowly still across the hall, and push open the drawing room door. So here, mother's intention, see, in order to make her obey, she would say that if she was a good girl, then surely she would obey her command. Most of them, naturally, in every family, to get some work done, they will be praising you if you complete this. Not bribing is different. Next step, first is praising. Like if you get first rank, I'll give that, I'll give this. You have to get motivating is different, bribing is different, praising is different. 3 activities here. Then what happens? Slowly the girl would slip down the stairs, more slowly still across the hall, and push open the drawing room door. It seems slip down means come down quietly, and in what way? Unwillingly. She is not in such a manner that seeing her father opening the door, coming into the stairs, immediately rushing to the father, and giving the hands and giving a kiss or hugging. Not like that. Unwillingly, she came down quietly, it seems. Let's follow the next line. By that time, he had his spectacles on and looked at her over them in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. Now we can just imagine Kezia's father sitting in the drawing room on a sofa wearing his spectacles, and he was looking at Kezia over the spectacles. And the way he looks at her means, is he looking in a terrifying manner? No, but it resembles to this little Kezia, the little child, in a terrified manner. She was totally horrified because maybe it seemed to her that he was staring at her. "Well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today?" Then what's her reply? I don't know, father. In such a manner, she replied. So here, Kezia was a bit reluctant in her work, and her way of action slow in her motion, the movement. And so her father would tell her to hurry up, remove his shoes, and keep them outside, means out of the room. And then he would ask her if she had been a good girl that day. What is her reply there? I don't know, father. And Kezia replied that she did not know whether she was a good girl or not. She doesn't know. So why she was stammering? Because she was not confident. Why she was not confident? Because of the fear of her father. A person is not confident when he has any feeling of fear, no doubt. Now come to page number 33. You don't know? If you stutter like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor. Here stutter means to stammer, to speak with pauses. So here Kezia's father is copying her. Means he repeats like the child. And he also stammers like she did. He says to her that if she stammers like that, then her mother would have to take her to the doctor for a checkup. Third paragraph. She never stuttered with other people, had quite given it up, but only with father, because then she was trying so hard to say the words properly. Given it up in the sense stopped doing it. Trying so hard means making a lot of efforts. So here the writer tells us that Kezia never stammered while she spoke to other people, to her friends or to any elders in a school. It was only when she talked to her father that she lacked confidence and gets feared, and automatically she was unable to speak properly. That's the main reason. Now come to the second part of the third paragraph, on page number 33. What's the matter? What are you looking so wrenched about? Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kezia, carry my teacup back to the table carefully. Here the word wrenched means unhappy or sadness. On the brink of suicide, in the sense about to commit suicide. Suicide means kill oneself. Here, Kezia's father looks at her. He feels that something is wrong with her. Naturally, we can easily go ahead with the face feelings and face expressions. And he asked her why she is so unhappy. And then he tells the mother that she should teach Kezia to behave in a better way, and she should not appear as if she is so unhappy that she is about to end her life. So he wants to say that Kezia seems to be so unhappy with her life that she did not want to live any longer. He hands her his teacup and asks her to place it back on the table. So he has given some instructions to mother to teach her how to be and how not to be, do's and don'ts. He was so big, his hands and his neck, especially his mouth when he yawned. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. Here, this two lines means he was so big, his hands also big and his also neck, and his mouth was wide open when he yawned. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant means here the word giant refers to Kezia's father, and it is her imagination like this. And one more main point here is whenever Kezia thought about her father, she felt that she was thinking about a giant, a huge monster. Now come to fourth paragraph. On Sunday afternoons, grandmother sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with father and mother. So every Sundays during afternoon, Kezia's grandfather sent her downstairs to the drawing room, it seems, because to spend time with her parents. So Kezia was supposed to behave in a nice and decent way in front of her parents, and they had a formal get together. See, generally now it's lockdown time, you will be with your parents at the evening time, and some of them when the parents father comes for lunch from his workplace and all. But in a regular way, if the schools are going on, then you don't find the time to meet them when they come in the 8 o'clock or something. Sometimes you can't dine with them because you will be busy with your homeworks, or they will be busy with their works, something like that, a mechanical way. But here, so that is why Sunday all get together talking to that in a decent manner and all. Now come. But the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on the sofa, his handkerchief on his face, his feet on one of the best cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. Snoring means here the sound produced by some people when they are asleep. Here, but grandmother sent her downstairs to the drawing room because to behave well in the nice and decent way. But here, Kezia felt a bit neglected. Mother is busy with reading paper, and father he kept a hanky on his face and nicely sleeping, keeping his leg on the cushion there. She sat on a stool, gravely watched him until he woke and stretched and asked the time. Then looked at her. Don't stare so, Kezia. You look like a little brown owl. One day, when she was kept indoors with a cold, her grandmother told her that father's birthday was next week and suggested she should make him a pin cushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. So, all the while, Kezia's father was asleep. She would just sit on a stool like that and watch him carefully till the time he would wake up and stretch his body and then would ask him time and look at her. Here, Kezia's father would compare Kezia to a little brown owl. He would say that Kezia was staring like a owl does. One day, when Kezia was not well, she had cold and she was supposed to stay at home. Then her grandmother suggested in a week your father's birthday was approaching, so she could make her birthday gift for him. She could suggest that Kezia to make a pin cushion for him, means for her father, and she also gave her a yellow colored fabric of silk to make the cushion, it seems. So now she was busy to give a gift to her father. So this birthday event in the next class. Thank you for today.